Let's get the studio set up. We get the products added. Well, hello everyone. Going to get into our focus session, some body doubling, get some work done. I'm just getting live on TikTok. Then we're going to set our Pomodoro timer up and get everything rocking. I have the products in here. Again, if you have questions, let me know in the chat. But this is really meant to just be more of a productive workflow time. I'm going to be going through emails, some follow-up tasks. I have to actually get the transcript yesterday from our office hours. Hey, John, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And again, for those of you that have questions, drop it in the chat. I will gladly circle back to it. And if you're not already following, like John, thank you for the follow. Feel free to follow, subscribe, so you can stay up to date when I'm going live and hopefully getting some value from all of this. That being said, let's get the Pomodoro timer because it looks like I've got my TikTok live stream set. Looks like we're ready. Okay, we got the products added. Whoa. Okay, maybe not. How many products are live can be added? Here we go. Body doubling session. That looks like it's it. Yes. Okay. Let's go live. Boom. Body. And there we are. Perfect. What's up, TikTok? All right. So again, we're getting our official timer set. I'm going to put 20 minutes on the clock here. So we're going to be working silently for 20 minutes. I'll pop back in and we'll do a 5-minute break where we'll stretch, maybe run to the bathroom, again, go over the questions in the comments, anything like that. And we'll do 2 of these workflows. So we'll basically get 50 minutes of working, which will leave me about a couple minutes left. And that is it. Ready? Timer's off. We got 20 minutes on the clock. I will see y'all on the other side of this round, getting productivity in. All right, so now I get to do all my other stuff. First, tap that. Pull out my planner to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Pull this down. Oh. All right. Hey, what's going on? Dang, I just saw all the comments on YouTube. Henry Stickmin. So I don't know that character they're referencing, but Mr. Clean, I'm familiar with. What's going on? What's cracking, everybody? Hey. All right. So I want to share something with you guys that actually just came up from a client message I was sending, and always appreciate the comments, regardless. Trolling, fun, or everything in between, and value driven, but appreciate the haze. And again, keep in mind when you guys are watching live or you're watching the replay, if you comment, take a screenshot and email it to me at lifeofafighter@gmail.com. I will send you a $50 LOF gift card. The first person on each platform to screenshot their comment and send it to my email gets the gift card. But the thing I wanted to share really quickly, and then I'm going to go back into my emails, is one thing I've noticed that comes up for a lot of, especially the ADHD clients that I work with nowadays. I'll be honest, most of the clients that I'm working with personally are, oh, how did I do this? To split that, are ADHD oriented. So that's like, if it's not someone with ADHD, honestly, I tend to reference it to my other coaches on the team, especially because they have so much skill and experience with the health and the wellness and body recompositions. But the ADHD is a kind of an interesting one that I've had more experience with than the rest of our team. So I tend to gravitate towards those. And I say all this to say one thing that comes up for ADHD brain chemistry is like noticing impulsive behaviors and wanting to have strategies that last, because we could do something for a very short window of time, but then all of a sudden after a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple months, we can kind of get burnt out and run out of momentum. So being able to have a strategy that builds momentum is key. And one of the things that always for me tends to come back to is dopamine. Having a dopamine menu, a cheat sheet. What's up, Adam? Being able to have that. And if you're not familiar with a dopamine cheat sheet or a dopamine menu, I've done past content on that. You can go to the blog, look up ADHD or dopamine, or you could just Google it, or I'll share it in the chat. If you guys want to see some insight requested to that as well. But being able to leverage your dopamine, okay? Not only with someone with neurodiversity or ADHD, in general, dopamine is a motivator brain signal, especially with ADHD brain chemistry. If you are adequately managing dopamine or getting dopamine, you're going to be more motivated. It's going to be easier to get things done. So just a little pro tip for you. But now I'm going to get back to some of my tasks. Okay. Let's go. See if I can get this here. There we go. Yeah, that's Friday 16th. Oh, don't do that, Misha. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog, Misha, starting to howl. She's like, hey, where is everybody? Probably feels lonely. Poor Misha. Mishers. Oh, Mish. I feel you, girl. Okay. Looks like that's good. Let's see what we got here. Let's maybe check the stock. Notes. Okay, let's check here. Okay. Misha, you're killing me there. Oh man, I just realized I can't use a space. Yeah. Okay. Misha can hear me and it's just like refusing. Oh, thanks, Josh. Maybe in another lifetime, you know what I mean? Or who knows? Misha. Let me know if you guys can hear my dog Misha in the chat. She's howling right now because she's in her crate and she knows that I'm like working in the office and she's just feeling lonely. I'm almost tempted to let her in here if she keeps going because I feel for her. I don't want her to feel alone. Hold on, let's see. HubSpot here. Clearing out our emails. See how much time I got. Oh, dude, I still got like 5 more minutes on this round. I'm getting stuff done. Okay, boom. Let's get back in here. I love these comments. I mean, maybe. If you want to get some work in though, Cole, you're more than welcome to come out of the gym. Show me some techniques. You know what I mean? Show me what's up. Now that I've been retired, I could be vulnerable. I do appreciate a good humbling training session to kind of spark a fire a little bit. So Cole, come out to Asheville. Put in some work with me. Humble me. Hey, what's going on, Tree? Got a couple more minutes here, and our 5 more minutes in this first workflow, and then we will get into just double check. Nice. Get into a 5-minute break and then do round number 2. Here we go. Nice. Okay. Awesome. This is Let's see what this has. Share that. Yesterday. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Thanks for the follow. I'm going to just say 1988 because the other letters I can barely see, but appreciate you over there too. Let's see. Got like 2 more minutes here, and then we're going to do a 5-minute breathing and stretching break and then go into our second workflow. Let's do another ChatGPT. Whoa, it's a great question. Interesting, Rose. That's an interesting question. I like ice in my drinks, and when it comes to the RICE method, rest, ice, compression, and elevation, I actually am not a huge fan of ice. I would see, again, I'm not a doctor. This isn't medical advice. Also, thank you for the follow, Jennifer. I see you. Appreciate you. It's good to see you. But when it comes to that, I'm a bigger, there's a great book called the end of the Ice Age, I highly recommend you check it out because there's been a lot of misconceptions on how and where to use ice in a rehab or an injury setting. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I know you're talking about ice in a different setting in like the country, which I'll gladly speak to on our break here in a moment. But I'm also just using it as an opportunity to kind of be silly and also talk about I really do think it's worthwhile for people to understand you may be turning to ice on injuries and things like that where it may not best serve you. You might be better suited using different modalities like movement and heat, but again, talk to your doctor, talk to a PT. There's other things as well. I got like 30 more seconds. I'm going to try and submit this task really quick before that's up. Let's see if you got any questions. Silence is golden. Yo, shout out. What's up, AA? Yeah, silence is golden, even though I'm clearly talking right now. But the idea is, again, silent workflow. All right, so that is the end of our first 20-minute cycle. We're going to do a 5-minute break here. The first thing I like to do is we're going to do some breathing. And then, Rose, let me know if you're still in the chat. I will literally gladly answer. If you want to dive into my feelings on ice, I will speak to that if we have a couple of minutes here in the break. But first, we're going to start with our breathing. I want you to sit away from your chair if you're sitting at a chair. And we're going to leverage some of our diaphragmatic breathing. So that's a fancy saying, put one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach by your belly button. And ideally you should be moving where your hand at your belly button is if we're using our diaphragm to breathe here. So we're trying to do nice big inhales through our nose, stomach coming out, and then exhale. That's a good one. That's an old school one too. We can take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Do this for a couple more breaths here. Find your own rhythm. However long you're inhaling, though, I want to invite you to exhale twice as long. So if you're inhaling for 2, exhale for 4. If you're inhaling for 4, exhale for 8. It's a great way to regulate our breathing and help in our transitions of workflow. Okay. So now we're going to do a little bit of a stretch pairing with this. So what I like to do is kind of feel into my body and feeling like what's sore. Ironically, I've been having a right rotator cuff injury I've been working through. It's slowly been progressively getting better ever since July, but I'm seeing a PT. Shortly, I still get to honestly set up an appointment with them. This is where my ADHD kicks in. Sometimes I have avoidance around appointments and stuff because I don't like dealing with my calendar all the time unless it's making money. Anyways, point is, now my left shoulder is kind of feeling a little funky from doing jiu-jitsu last week. So we're going to go through some shoulder mobility, okay? So I'm going to have both of our hands up. We're going to inhale. One hand is going to go down, rotate. Oh, that's limited range motion. We're going to inhale. And then the opposite. We're just going through, again, a comfortable range of motion. Go one more time each side. Now, what I'm also going to do is pair this. We got maybe 2.5 more minutes. So I'll do one more neck movement. And then I'm actually going to like jump into the chat here for a second. I personally like to kind of feel through my clavicle. And it's a fancy way of saying like your shoulder girdle or whatever you want to call this. I don't even know what the layman term is for it anymore. But clavicle, collarbone. There we go. Our collarbone. I'm going to kind of feel around. I'm going to feel where there's any tightness. I can kind of feel I got some tightness on both sides. So I'm going to inhale. Exhale, turn my head to the left while simultaneously holding and pinning my right side. Come back to the center, do the same thing opposite side. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to have some bonus points. I'm going to reach my arms out. The hand that I'm turning towards is going to stay up. The hand that I'm turning away from is going to go down. So I'm going to exhale. Feels so good. All right, we'll bring it back in. Let's shake it out, relax a little bit, and get ready to go into our second workflow here. We got about 90 seconds. This is where I'll check into the chat, into the comments, and see. And again, if you guys have questions on Amazon, if you see any of the products and you have questions on them, I have my planners, I have some of the other products behind me and all around. If you're watching on any of the other platforms or TikTok and you want to ask questions on products, let me know. Or on any of the other ones where you don't necessarily see any products in the carousel, but you have questions, let me know as well. Like an interesting one was, how do you feel about ice? And I was talking about from a health perspective, where there might be an appropriate time for ice, like from a recovery injury sense, and also where heat might be the move. A really impactful book and topic that I would highly recommend you Google or look at is The End of the Ice Age, related to the principle. Like even when I was in athletic training school, this is back in 2007, RICE was still the acronym we use: rest, ice, compression, elevation, for an acute immediate injury. Nowadays, it may not be the most beneficial thing based on a lot of studies and update. I believe the person that was asking this isn't just talking about ice for like our body injury. Maybe you're talking about ice as far as immigration kind of stuff. If you're still in the chat, you want to literally know my thoughts, I will share, but I tend to keep things relative to health and wellness and fitness. But if you're genuinely curious, I like one thing I'm, fine with. I'll talk about whatever. I'm an authentic person. I'm quite open and vulnerable about these things. And I think it's important to speak if there's an inquiry. But if you're also just trolling and trying to stir up controversy, I'm not going to necessarily feed into it as much. But if you want to know, Rose, you're still in the chat, you let me know. I'll gladly speak to it. But with that being said, round number 2. Let's get into it. Our second workflow. We're going to just, again, silently work and get some stuff done. I got some tasks to get done. Round 2. Let's get it. 20 minutes on the clock. No, that's not what I'm looking at either. Coffee. I love that French press. There's something like therapeutic for me, or quite enjoyable, even as self-care, if just like having a good French press, pouring it. Now I know I've got like a McDonald's coffee cup. I literally just got some black coffee this morning after dropping the kids off, but I'm just repurposing the same cup. And also, really quick before then, I've leveraged a lot of different protein shakes before. If you guys have ever watched my content, you know that I like using these like pre-mixed protein shakes as a creamer for my coffee. But I've got to say, from a macro perspective and fiber perspective, I think Pure Protein might be my like number one pick now. They're not a sponsor. This isn't something they like. I literally buy this. I buy every 2 weeks, man. I spend probably $50 a month just on protein shakes. And this has 140 calories, 30 grams of protein. So you got 1 gram of fat, 5 grams of carbs. Of those carbs, 4 grams of dietary fiber. That's a big one to me. So you're getting 4 grams of fiber, 30 grams of protein from one of these shakes. I have at least one of these a day throughout my coffee consumption, throughout my day. They can be great. I also sometimes will work in a second one, depending on how my like fasting windows are or my work schedule, and just have a post-workout or intro workout. And honestly, I really like the strawberry flavor. Not saying you need to do that, but just a little pro tip if you like doing it, where the move could be. Let's go back to here. That's where, again, having that planner is clutch. Like, even as little things come up, I can jot it down and keep working on the task in front of me, but I don't lose anything. Oh, meters. Off. Let's see it. There's send pen. A week. Okay. Close that out. Hey, there we go. Nice. Let's add spot. I do it on time. Nice. Okay, so press the simulator as well. Okay, awesome. Okay, good. Okay, that's awesome. I'm excited for that. Nice. Okay, let's apply. I believe I already did this. See if they sent the same thing. Oh, they're sending different stuff. Nice. Maybe it's the same thing. Okay. Let's see what else. But I really like this one. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Nice. Boom. All right. Let's see. We back? We good? Let's see. How we doing, everyone? How we doing? Let's check if my camera's back. We're back. All right. Sorry about that. I literally had I counted. I had 20 tabs open, and while I love my MacBook, it just can't handle that kind of demand, right? So learn to close out some of my tabs. We've got 4 or 5 minutes left in this live stream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try and be a little bit more efficient with my task right now, because I have to download video from yesterday, the office hours. We're going to transcribe this bad boy. And honestly, lately, what I've been doing is I love feedback from you guys if you have requests. What I'm doing is I'm using the transcription from my actual lives to create our blogs. So I feel like it's just going to be the most hopefully connective, value driven. The key here is, let's see. Oh yeah, let's see if the transcripts got it. Audio recording only. And I can feed that here. Later. How are we doing here? Looks like we're all right. Okay. See if I can open up my transcription. Let's see. Let's see if we've got it. There it is. Perfect. Okay. Let's do select all. Boom. All right, let's get that in there. Let's see if we got. Okay, looks like we've got it. Nice. All right. I love technology, y'all. Gotta love it. Like, just drastically. I was even able to create the slide deck yesterday. I pulled the data I wanted to reference from peer-reviewed journals, fed it to AI, helped it kind of prompt me for Canva. Canva helped me make the whole slide deck. Bada bing, bada boom. Now let's pull up right here. So this is for, it was January 18. Here. Just pull out downloads. Bam. 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 It's not going in there. Oh, it's already here. Right. Right. Okay. Let's see here. Cool. All right, and then depending on how much I get done, I might actually be able to do a workout live stream at noon, where I honestly may just do some more body doubling. So I gotta get a lot of stuff done. Okay. 26. Cool. I might put this. Oh my god. All right, so that is our time. We're gonna take a 5-minute break. Honestly, I'm right in the middle of something, so I'm actually gonna finish this. That's one thing I found with the brain chemistry kind of side is like, it's kind of tricky. So it's recording. We'll go to archive. I'm going to drag and drop this, and then we're gonna bring it home. But thank you everybody for tuning in. That is pretty much gonna do it for this one. Yeah, we're gonna take a nice couple deep breaths here. More. One more. Now we'll kind of wrap up our workflow. Kudos again, whether you got all the stuff done you wanted to get done, you got some of it done, or you just kind of got started or get a little organized. Kudos again for showing up. I will be back ideally at noon today, whether it's maybe a workout or it may just be some more productivity workflow stuff, depending on where I'm at for my tasks. But I will be back at noon. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. And if not, also be live streaming most likely tomorrow. So again, make sure you're following, subscribing so you can stay up to date on the content as we're putting it out. Also, I'm putting up the blog, all that fun stuff. And as always, if you're the first person to comment and screenshot it and email it to me, you get a $50 LOF gift card. I literally just sent out 2 today for people that took advantage of it. So hopefully you will win one as well. With that being said, that's it. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.